everybody. This is Bryan Hogue. Welcome to Chiller Chat. Now, tonight we're going to be talking to B H Paranormal Investigations. And they are out of Titusville, Pennsylvania, out of the area of Titusville, Pennsylvania. So let me get them on the phone. Hello, is this Doug?
Yeah.
Hey, Doug, this is Bryan. You're on Chiller Chat. How's it going tonight?
We're doing good.
Good, good. Now, B&H Paranormal Investigations, now there's four of you there tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to introduce the team? In fact, let me put the picture of you up real quick, and then you can... hold on just a second here. There's that. Nope. Here we go. Well, on you may not be able to see this just yet, so Doug. So what I'm going to do is, to all you viewers, you see the photo of the. This is B&H Paranormal, okay, and starting from my right to left would be Devin Hazelton, Doug Hazelton, Carrie Hazelton, and Stephen Baum. So, I get those names right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, outstanding. And the four of you make up B&H Paranormal. Do you have any other team members?
No, we don't.
Okay. Now, what's kind of interesting about this is three of you are family members.
Yes.
Okay. How did you get interested as a family to do something like this?
I pretty much got into it myself, and then kind of somewhat my son followed, and then the wife followed, and then, of course, my friend Steve, he's been wanting to get into it, and then we just all hooked up, and he decided to start the team, so we pretty much started it.
Okay. Was there something in particular that got you guys interested in the paranormal? Did you watch the show like the Ghost Hunters or something as a family together? I mean, what hooked you into this?
This is Steve. We got into it. I got into it myself quite a few years back when I had a little haunting in my own house, and I just went from there and decided to do my own investigate and all that crap, and I talked to my brother, and he was going to do it, but he decided not to. Then Doug and Carrie and Devin all jumped in, so we all just put it together, and it's working out pretty good.
Okay, well, Stephen, you say you had a haunting of your own in your home? Is that what you?
Yes.
Okay, and before this, is this something that did you believe in ghosts and spirits prior to that experience?
To be honest, no, I never believed in them until I got a bed given to me from a house that I helped clean out. And after I got that bed set up, that's when I experienced all that stuff. And I found out it was like a couple days later that the person that had left the bed behind, because the person died in that bed. So that's what got me into it.
Well, can you share what the experience was?
Just...
If not, that's fine, but if you could, that'd be great.
Yeah, sleepless nights for 2-3 days, and I would get the blanket pulled off me, and I'll stand up, and there'll be like a full person in like a black and white uniform. I have no clue what it was, but he was there, and the moment I talked and said, hey, if this is your bed, I'm sorry, I go, I'll get rid of it, and you'll be in peace, and after that, it left just that quick.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how long ago was that?
That was back in 2000, I'm thinking.
Okay. Do you have any idea who that individual was?
I had no clue. I just know he lived in Franklin, and it was just apparently that was his bed. And when I got the frame given to me, of course, I had a little mattress, but the frame I got given to me was his. So he basically was claiming it. So I got rid of it, and it mellowed right back out.
Did he ever try? You say you saw the figure, the apparition, or however. Did it at any time try to communicate with you?
No, just when I looked at him, and like I said, it kept on blurring in and out. And I said, "Is this your bed?" He kind of waved at me like he was saying, "Yes, it was." And I honestly never believed in ghosts, but until that time, hey, that's where I picked it up. But he tried to communicate with me. I never got any voices or anything because I never got into it. Like I said, I never believed in it until afterwards.
Yeah. Now, how about Devin, Doug, and Carrie? Now, did you guys? This is something I'm always curious about. Did you believe in the paranormal prior to starting up the investigation? The reason I ask is there could be some people on the team who don't believe in spirits. They are just doing the investigation solely, just for the sake of obtaining information, to learn from it, but maybe don't necessarily believe. Now, did you guys believe prior to forming this team?
Yes. When we formed this team, we all believed, yes.
Okay. Now, with Devin, Doug, and Carrie, did you guys have an experience that caused you to believe in the paranormal?
Yes. My name's Devin, and yes, I do.
Okay. Can you share what your experience was?
Yeah, we went to the Mill Farm Bridge.
Yeah.
And on the far side, I saw like the big shadow, kind of. And when I first seen it, I ran because I didn't know how to explain it to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got back to the house, I was like 3 shades of white.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you actually saw something. You saw something that you couldn't explain, and that got you interested in it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Doug and Carrie, how about you?
My first one, I'm trying to think. I think I was 15. I was in California visiting my aunt because I went down there for the summer. And never really noticed anything really. And then the one morning I woke up and there was no breeze. Of course, it's calm there. It was hot. And I'm standing in the kitchen talking with my aunt, and then I happen to look up, and all the plants that she had, hanging in the kitchen area, they were swaying back and forth, and I said, well, I'm like, why is that? There's no breeze. She said, oh, we have spirits in here. I said, okay. And then the one night we were outside, and she asked me to go upstairs. Well, there's 2 sets of stairs as you come in the front door, go up the one landing to get in towards the living room. Then there's a set of stairs that go up to the bedrooms to the right. And as soon as I got halfway up, I happened to look, and I seen a shadow kind of going up the stairs. And it was a full-blown shadow. And I was like, okay, maybe somebody's upstairs to go get her cigarettes for her. And I went upstairs, and I yelled, and nobody answered. I said, well, that's kind of weird. And I went, and I finished going up to the top of the stairs to the bedroom. Then I seen the shadow dart into her bedroom. But I still went in and got her cigarettes for her. But then that was my experience on that one. And then I've had a few other ones, too. But, like noises and voices and growls and whatever. And I got really interested back then. And I kind of blew it off. And it's like, well, something must be out there. And then I just kind of blew it off for a while. And then I just started getting into it really bad. And I don't know, I've had a few wrecks in my life, and kind of sort of that maybe helped me a little bit, because I really didn't die. I was still alive, but I kind of maybe seen the other side in a way, the other realm, maybe, because I had images in my head, but I was still in a coma state. And that was really weird, and it's well, maybe this is my calling, and this is what I have to do, and that's when I really got into it.
Wow. Now, Carrie, how about yourself? Have you seen or heard anything prior to joining the team that made you believe?
She's partially deaf in a way, but she really hasn't seen a lot, but she's heard voices, heard noises, and things like that. Yes.
Okay. Huh. All right. And then you being Devin, Doug, and Carrie, you met up with Steve and formed this team. How long ago?
What? 2 years ago we've been doing this? About 2.5 years. But I've known Steve all his life, pretty much.
Okay. Now, how do you know? Like I talked to you briefly before this, Doug, a few times, and that I know that you have some equipment, obviously, that you take on your investigations with you. How do you know what to take? I mean, how did you know what to compile for your team investigations? Did you talk to other team members, or is this stuff that you've seen on like Ghost Hunters or some of the other?
I've watched a lot of shows, and that's where I got some of the knowledge, and then I've read up on it. I got on the Google and read more, and then I talked to a team from Pittsburgh, and I talked to their owner, and they ran with chaps and stuff like that, and they gave me hints and things, what to do, what to look for in a way too.
Okay.
And they said one of these days we'd have to get together and get their team. They'd want to come down with our team and do some stuff.
Well, that sounds interesting. Now, I have a question here. If I'm missing any questions, to all the viewers, you'll have to excuse me. I'll try to go back through and see them all. I have one from a viewer named Ronnie who said, "We have watched many a haunting show. May I ask, why do most investigations take place either at night or with the lights off? Do you have an answer for that one?"
With the lights off, well, like this. Usually with the lights off and later at night, I usually go and I do the day sweeps.
Okay.
And I get all the information that I possibly can, what was there on the property before, if there's anybody that died there or any, death incidents of what caused it. And I get in there, and then I go to the library if I have to, and I dig into that, and I get all the information I need to get. I share a little bit with the team, but not all of it. So they're kind of going in blind, but they have an idea of what. Okay. And where the hot spots are, kind of, sort of, in a way.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of investigations teams that seem to do that, and that's a good idea. So you don't already have a preconceived idea before going in there.
Right.
I think that's smart.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I've been with a few teams that have gone out, and I see how much work goes into it. Setting up the equipment, that's a monumental task in and of itself, and then just the waiting.
Right. It's like I've kind of heard and learned. You can go to a place like we've been going to the Miller Farm a few times, and you can go. We've been there like 6, 7 times, and we've got some voices and stuff like that, but not any shadows in a way. For Devin, seen that one, but a lot of voices. The K2 meters are going up. We do get voices, but you can go there that many times and not really get anything. But it's always that one time you're gonna, and that's the work you have to put into it.
Yeah. I just had your picture up so the viewers could see a little closer image of you. Now, have you guys had any type of experience that so far in your investigations that maybe you thought, oh boy, maybe we picked the wrong job here?
Yeah, we did.
Anything rattle you quite a bit?
We did. We're on the bridge. We asked the questions, and the flashlight coordinated with the questions we asked, and it turned on and off. And then we decided to go back up to the cemetery, and we got to the top of the stairs, and we had a voice. Steve heard it, and it said, "He's coming." And I'm going, okay, where'd that come from? But then another buddy of mine was up there during the day, which he goes up there a lot. There was nothing, no animals, anything around, and he heard a growl. And I'm going, that could not be good. That could be demonic. We don't know. So now we have to wait for after winter
So because that road is not maintained back there, now we have to go back and find out what that was. And that's where a lot of the people from the Miller farm back in the oil days were at.
Well, if something was demonic, now are you prepared for that? I mean, if you do encounter an evil spirit, a demon, whatever you want to call it, what type of, do you have protection for that? I mean, do you have any religious objects or holy water?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have some sayings for that. I got the Archangel Michael prayer.
Okay.
Now, I'm thinking before we go up there, we're going to say our own prayers before we get into our investigations to protect us as we're going in there, keep us from harm, all that too. So it does help, but I definitely am going to go back and find out what that growl was about, because I did it the one time. We had a Wiccan at the bridge one time, and my son was on the bridge with her, and they looked at me and said, Doug, he don't want you on here. And I said, you know what? I'm going on there, and I went off. I tried to piss that thing off so bad, and it really didn't react with me. And it's like, dude, I'm not playing with you. Do something to me. Scratch me, hit me, do something. And nothing really happened. But if it comes down to seriousness and something does happen to me, they know pretty much what to do to get me out of there, get back to the base, down at the bottom and stuff like that, to get our heads thought, think of what to do next, and go right back up again.
Well, that sounds pretty risky, doesn't it? Though, yeah. I mean, to be doing something like that.
Yes, it can be, but I have to do what I have to do to find and prove what's there.
Well, that sounds, I don't know. Have you ever encountered something like?
When I go back up there, I'll be shaking, but I have to find out.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Now, my wife, she asked a question. Do you burn sage? Do you have any cleansing
I do have some
practices?
of that, yes. I'm gonna have to get more. I know that.
Okay.
I do have that in my box.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a good thing to have then, from everything I've heard, anyways. Now, Chad, he writes. What does your team bring to the progression of the paranormal field? I'm not sure exactly what that would mean, other than I guess, are you doing anything different than anybody else? I've talked to some teams, or one team in particular, who's added a medium onto their team, and they use a medium alongside, hand in hand with the technology. Maybe.
Well, that is.
Oh, go ahead.
That is true. I'm trying to, I'm looking around. I know a few Wiccans, but I'd have to dig in and find, if I can find a medium, like that one person I do know of, Terry Codwell. He's a sensitive. And I have another person that's a sensitive too. And if they can feel something that is totally wrong. And if they say it's totally wrong, I might not try to go in and do that.
Okay. Now,
that's probably pretty dangerous. They say, and well, it's probably an
Yeah. Now, if it is an do you know of anybody who you would refer the investigation over to at that time, like somebody who is more experienced, or qualified to do a cleansing, or to deal with a spirit of that type? Do you know of anybody, like if you came in contact with a non-friendly spirit, do you have somebody who you can go to cleanse that house, or that that commercial building or whatever, or is that something that you would try to do yourself?
No, we don't have the person for that. But if anybody out there that knows somebody and is in around this area, feel free to call Steve or I, and we will take you in.
I'm going to, I'll put your numbers up there right now. In fact, I got a picture of your van with your name and your numbers on there. And that's, and then I'll put your names, Douglas Hazelton and Stephen Baum. And that's right on the screen right now. Now, there is a, Ronnie asks, is there really a witching hour or a significance with 3 a.m.? Do you know anything about that?
That's like dead time. It's in that case, pretty much your spirit. You know, if everybody's like up and moving around, and about the 2-3 o'clock is a dead time, is what we call it. That's when like everybody's like in bed, relaxed, sleeping, and that's when they will come out and try to take the advantage of that.
And then Charles, he writes, do you have an exorcist on call?
No, we don't. I'm hoping we don't have to need one.
Yeah.
You just never know. But, no, we don't have one of them, but I'd like to try to find one of them too, believe me, just in case.
This I find this fascinating, and I think it's interesting too, Doug, Devin, and Carrie, that you're all, you're a family, and you work together there with Stephen.
Well, he's family too, so.
Yeah, it's understandable. I came in contact with you, Doug, through our mutual friend Aaron Madden. He was a guest on the show not too long ago, and you were. I'm going to put up this picture of you. You were on the Beat It video that the Titusville Police Department did. That's you. I have a picture of you sitting in the cafe at the very beginning of the video.
And my wife and my son was there. My son's the one that come out of the manhole cover, the second one.
Oh, okay.
That's Devin.
Is that right? Okay. Oh, that's funny. I just wanted to mention that. Put a some of our viewers who've seen the show in the past, they've actually seen you whether they realize it or not.
Yeah, I've had a few people come up, weren't you in there? It's like, yeah.
Now, I got a question here from Brad. He's asking me, okay, have you, Bryan, ever seen paranormal activity? No, I don't think I have. Nothing that I'm aware of. Well, I take that back. I was out with with the Erie Paranormal Voices with Chad Cornell and the EVPS, and we were in a place in Ohio. We were in the basement of a place in a boiler room where the spirit was seen to have been appearing, and they were doing the flashlight response, trying to get the spirit to response through turning on and off the flashlight.
Right.
And I will say that when they would ask it to turn the flashlight off, the flashlight went off. When they asked, thank you, could you turn the flashlight back on? It came back on. And they did this various times. It wasn't just a one-time thing. They actually did this like 4 or 5 times right in a row. So now Chad writes, how do you define the types of paranormal activity? You're asking Doug and his team, Stephen, and them, how they define the types of paranormal activity. I'm not sure. Not being a paranormal investigator myself, I'm not real sure of that of the meaning of that particular question, but.
Well, different types do different things. When it's really bad, I can actually sense that something ain't wrong, or something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But there is good paranormal and there is bad. Lucky, I think the most that we talked to was basically protecting us because, like I said, Doug was talking about Miller Farm.
Mm-hmm.
We went up the steps there. I had my meter going. Well, my phone had the what it comes and tells you, and we heard a crying noise, and all of a sudden I asked, "Who's back here?" When who's crying, and all of a sudden my phone picked up with the K2 meter Doug used, picked up a wave, and all of a sudden we heard a baby. That's what came across my phone. It said a baby.
Oh wow!
And we said, is the baby crying? And we got a little thing after that saying a fire. It came across my phone saying fire. Well, after I got looking and investigating that a little bit after we figured that out, that was just before the lady that we talked to, that I heard, told us, go, he's coming. We all went back down to the bridge. But I went home and I did some research, and yeah, I found out there was a baby there, and there was a candle that fell over and caught a house on fire, and the baby got burned up in it.
Oh my gosh! Wow. So that would be, that sounds like that's a conscience encounter, as opposed to like the residual. You know, something it just kind of on a loop. I guess it'd be the best way to explain it.
And before, after we were talking to this lady, that's why I'm just assuming a lady.
Yeah.
Can't hear, if it's a male or a female voice, really. That's when we heard, he's coming, leave. And that's what popped up on my phone. That's why the K2 meter went up. So we went back down to the staging area, and we went back on the bridge there, and all of a sudden we were doing a couple more flashlight things, and some odd reason, a friend of mine that was with me kind of felt really weak, but rather than that, it just kind of weird. So when we encounter some good and bad, they say there ain't no good spirits, but I think, to be honest, I think that lady was just there to answer our questions what we wanted, and then she protected us. So to me, that could be a good spirit. So it all depends how the air feels. You can tell by the stiffness of the air. You can tell by the cold. If it's really cold and, it's like 60, 70 degrees out, and all of a sudden you get a really cold breeze that goes down like 40, something's really close by, and it might not be good.
Well, one of the best forms of detection might be our own human intuition,
Yeah. So, like I said, with the group, the way we started, we all figured, we all caught something for a reason. So that's why we want to do it.
And that's understandable.
I think if we could take it and send the souls to the light, it might mellow the house out, might mellow the air out, all depends. But we don't know that yet. Like I said, we've only been doing this for 2.5 years. I'm basically the camera tech guy. I have all the cameras, the night vision cameras, and I do the investigation. Doug has the K meters. Devin and Carrie has the infrared cameras that they use, along with some other stuff. I got a heat gun I use and all that crap.
Well, we're actually at the end of the hour. I really appreciate you guys being on the show. If somebody wants to contact you, I'm going to put your contact information up. I got your van, a picture of your van, and your phone numbers, and they just simply call those two numbers that are listed on the TV screen. I have 814-827-3836 for Doug, and I have 814-564-2272 for Steve.
Right.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you taking this evening, and we'll have to have you on again. It goes quick, doesn't it?
That's fine.
All right.
Good. It was a good time.
Well, I appreciate you guys being on the show, and I hope to have you on again soon. I'm going to go ahead and roll the end credits. If you want to just stick around here for a few minutes, let me get the credits out of the way, and then we can still chat if you'd like, and we don't have to leave this moment. But thank you to all who have watched tonight. Join us next week for another episode of Chiller Night or Chiller Chat. I'm getting my shows mixed up. Too many chillers. Okay, but thank you guys. Have a good night.
How many many times do I have to tell you, just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad?